Kind of like when you do a rainbow. Most people know it goes from, you know, like red to orange to yellow to like it's certain tones that you should kind of go in with. What I like to do when I am doing colors on my lid, I like to use the base NYX Milk pencil. Isn't it called Milk? I think it is Milk. Yeah, it's really an eyeshadow crayon, but I like to use it as a base because, especially with us African American women who are deeper tones, you know, people say, oh, the color don't show up as good. That's because you're not priming your lid for that. And especially when you're going to do a gradient effect with different colors like that, you definitely want to prime the lid, have a white base or something close to white or ivory, so the color kind of pops back out. And another thing that I wanted to say is when you are doing stuff like that, do not take it all the way up to your eyebrow. Your eyeshadow should stop at your crease. You should do a crease color, do the colors that you're going to do on your lid, and then make sure you have a highlight under your brow.
Okay, but what I'm talking about is similar to what you have now, where you have it on a lid, but you also have a light color
on the inner crease part.
Right.
Yeah,
here.
I think I did that.
Right.
On her, yeah. She
right on her. But the opposite, like the light where you have the pinkish reddish tone,
will be right there, and then they have a deeper tone on the inside.
It blends.
Okay, well, it kind of just depends on the person. I'm not a fan of that, me personally, but I know some people like to do the flop look, where most people smoke it on the inside and then kind of do it softer on the outside. To me, I feel like if you do that type of eyeshadow, your eyelash should be dramatic towards the end to kind of bring it back up, because then the focal point is right here. You know, so it should be something at the end that kind of levels it back out.
Can I add to that? That probably also has something to do with eye shape. You know,
yeah, that don't work.
I don't know what the eye shape is that you would want to do it the opposite way. You know, but I'm just saying that's probably something to consider also.
If you have smaller eyes, I wouldn't suggest that, because you'll tend to make your nose more caved in, and you don't want that look, because then you look cross-eyed. So it depends, like she said, it depends on your eye shape. You want to know what goes good for your eyes. And what she was saying with the color as well, some people can bring their color all the way here. I can do that because my
you know, some people have a lot of the mobile lid, a lot of space here in the eye where you can do that. You know, when you start to, you have to think about dark and light. Dark is contouring, it minimizes. Light is going to give the illusion that things are larger and bigger. So if you have smaller eyes already, it's probably not the best idea to add a lot of dark colors in, because it's going to make your eyes bigger. And with clothing and dressing and hair and makeup, it's all about finding the balance, or exaggerating the things that you like about yourself. But I think that's kind of what you're trying to communicate with that.
And that's the key when I discuss how like color affects every part of your look, because it's all about balance. It's about balancing. If you have bold color hair, you may want to tone some of your looks down depending on the event you're going to.
A single mother, and she used to bring home stuff that she would find at outlets, and every time she would bring something home, I'd be like, I hate that, I'm never gonna wear that, and just try it on was always her thing. And now I realize how important that is, because you never know what it's gonna look like. So don't edit yourself, don't say that you can't do that or it's not gonna look good on me or whatever. Just try it out. You know, with the hair, it took me a long time to figure out my hair care regimen. I had a lot of bad twist outs, a lot of Bantu knots that just went awry, you know, but I spent the weekends and I twisted up, and you know, you just got to spend time with yourself and being, if it's really something that's really important to you, which I think should be important to everybody. It's not about superficiality or, you know, trying to compete with another woman or whatever. It's really about your appearance and how you present yourself and how you want people to see you. So I think it's really important that you spend time on those things and find YouTube, Google, you know, because everything is all at your fingertips, and you don't have to say, well, oh, I'm just not good at that, or I can't do that, because it's really you. Well, there's only one you. So
every woman should have something they can do to enhance themselves. How many times have you all went to go out with girlfriends and somebody didn't go because they didn't get their hair did? That should never be an excuse to go out. You should always have something to do their hair. Yeah. Whether you pin it up, whether you brush your face that night, whether your hair is done and you don't have the makeup, it should be something that you can do to kind of enhance yourself and be comfortable with yourself as a woman.
I think especially with your hair, because like even a lot of things that Nina did, like they were just real simple, like playing in your hair.
So basically what we did is we took the eyeliner, we made it a lot more thick to pop more. I added, close your eyes for me. I just added a thin layer on top of gold glitter. What you don't want to do, and I see this a lot, people line their eyes and then they put the silver or the gold liner on top of the black. No, no, no. You put it on, like on top of the black as far as it's sitting on top of it. So where it's two lines of eyeliner. It looks a lot more sleek, looks a lot cleaner too as well. And basically we just changed her lip color. A good tip, have you ever noticed when you put on lipstick, especially like if you're at the mall and you're swatching, trying to fix stuff, when you put it on, it stains your lip. What you have to do is you take a little bit of concealer or foundation and you put that on your lips before you put any type of lipstick on. That creates a barrier where it won't stain your lip, because let's say she wore like that pink undertone, it would be, for her day look with that pink undertone, if I wouldn't have put some type of barrier underneath that, that would be showing through this purple, and it wouldn't make the purple pop as much as it's doing right now. Makeup starts with skincare. You cannot have a beat face if your skin is not clear, so make sure you properly wash your face before and after makeup applications. I also want to push that the way a look actually looks, so we started off with day looks and we're going to switch them to night looks. The actual technique of makeup is within your actual skill as an artist. You don't have to be, you know, a drag queen makeup artist or, you know, the makeup artist for Ebony magazine to really know how to do your makeup properly. And don't feel like you need to be a part of the MAC Club. I love MAC Cosmetics, but it's no reason to spend, you know, $50, $60 on the foundation when there are a lot of dupes at drugstores that can do the same thing, if not better. So
It's one of the last things I want to discuss affects all this whole team, and that's color. And we all, and it's funny because before I actually did this, with talking with them, I realized that we all do believe the same thing. When you dress clothing color, it's about whether you have warm skin or you have cool. With cool colors, your skin is going to be, you want to look for your undertones. It's never your actually surface skin, it's your undertones. So your cool colors under your skin, you're going to be more warm, you're going to have more reds, you're going to have more pinks in your undertone.
How can they tell, excuse me, how can they tell if they're cool or warm?
One of the ways that is through your veins. When you look at your veins, you're either going to be blue or it's going to be green. Every time I tell that, everybody checks like, if you're blue, you consider a cool color. If you're green, you consider a warm color. And green kind of confuses people because people still view that as a cool color. But green, when it comes to your skin, means that you have golden and yellow undertones. Because again, like I said, it's not about your surface color, it's about your undertone colors. So with your warm tones, you're going to use, of course, warmer colors. You're going to use more reds, you're going to use more pinks. So that's something that gets a little confusing for some people, but make sure you're discussing undertones and not your top colors. So you can always do bright colors. Strong hues are great for your neutral girls. So neutrals are, you have a mixture of both. You have a little bit of cool and a little bit of cold. So those, you have strong hues. You do your rich royal blues, your royal purples, and that like goes for your makeup as well as hair. When you decide color with your hair and your makeup, always take that into question too. Always work with a hairstylist and a makeup artist who understands that. So a lot of people go out here and they just want the color, like, I want blue in my hair today, but that may not be best for your skin tone.